Hey guys, Yuki here and welcome back to another video. So, before we start today's video, there's a little announcement I have to make to you guys. So, if you guys watched my previous video, you'd know I made some Pokemon PSA stands. Now, I thought they were pretty cool, and a lot of you guys seem to think so too. So, here's what I did. I made an online shop where you guys could buy the STL file or the physical item itself. If you guys would like to know where it's at, just go to gumroad.com/yukifields. There you'll see the Pokemon PSA stands, and in the near future, you will see some new items as well. If you guys have any suggestions on what you would like to see here, I'd like to hear them. And with that out of the way, let's go on with the video. Alright, so for today's video, as you guys saw in the thumbnail, we're going to be making an LED mousepad. Now, I'm going to be making this with my 3D printer. You guys don't have to, I'm only doing this for convenience. You guys could make this out of cardboard if you wanted to, really. Okay, so this is a super simple build, nothing too hard. So I'm going to start off by making the middle section of this mousepad. This is pretty much going to be the compartment section of the mousepad. So I'm going to be shaping it somewhat like a bowl, and this is where the LEDs are going to be stored. And afterwards, I'm going to be making the lids for the compartment. Now, for one lid, I also want to put my engraving on it, so that way lights can shine through it and it looks way cooler than it would before. Alright, and that's the modeling section of this build done. Now, I'm not going to be showing you guys the printing process of this just because there wasn't much to see and I felt it was too boring for you guys to watch a flatbed being printed. So I'm just going to jump straight into the building process of this. Okay, so I'm going to start up with the bottom layer of the mousepad here, and I'm going to be placing the LED strips around. So if you look here, I'm placing it more in a square spiral shape here, and I'm leaving a little bit sticking out so that way I have something to connect to towards the end. And once you have the LED strip set in, make sure to connect it to power and go through the colors, specifically red, blue, and green. If you can get each of those colors, then your LED strips are good to go. Now the next thing we're doing is we're going to be making the middle section. Now this part has to be opaque, so if you guys aren't doing this out of printer materials, then I recommend something like a paper plate or maybe some foam. But if you're using a printer like I am, I recommend using some transparent PETG. Okay, and this is the last part of the build. Now here is the cover plate. Now I put holes on these so that way whenever I want to I can interchange the plate. So maybe I would want a different design, or maybe this one breaks or anything, I can just go ahead and swap it out. Alright, and with that plate on, it is time to turn off the lights, turn on your LEDs, and admire your hard work. Alright guys, that was really fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that project. I really did. Now, this mousepad doesn't have to be limited as a mousepad. You guys could even use it as a figurine stand, a card stand, really anything to display items. And even if you guys don't want to display anything, it is still a cool addition to your setup or even your room. Now, you guys don't even have to have the same design as I do, obviously. You guys can have any design you want. Now, there are some issues with this mouse pad specifically. The first issue being is that I made this too small. Now, 6 inches on each side is not big enough, so I'd recommend maybe making it 7 to 9 inches on each side if you guys are to make this for yourselves. Now, another issue I also had was on the edges that you rest your wrist on, they're a little uncomfortable, and over time it gets a little irritating. So I'd recommend maybe putting some foam or maybe 3D printing a TPU ring for it, just to make it a little more comfortable to use it. But other than that, it worked out pretty well. Alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you guys have any suggestions for the next video, leave it in the comments below. Now, with all that done and said, see you guys in the next one.